have my first commercial, in-person commercial audition. I think it's been about a year since I've had an in-person commercial audition. Quick heads up, I terminated my commercial agent 2025, February of 2025. And then I started doing kind of like a freelance with my theatrical agent. They have a commercial department, and they kind of like hip pocketed me where we were doing 3 months of a trial. And it was during a time where I was traveling, so I was kind of here and I wasn't here. And I don't know if you know this, but whenever you book out, you're kind of like booking out 2 weeks before, because smart agents aren't going to send you out for auditions if you're not going to be present for callbacks and bookings and things like that. And sure, you can say, I'll be back. But a lot of times, with money being what it is, I don't really sign up for the I'll book a flight back because it's expensive. And also, I just need the time away. But let me come back. So it's been a while since I've auditioned for a commercial. Well, first let me talk about the commercial itself. I've gone gray, and I've decided to lean into being a gray-haired actress, a salt and pepper actress. I'm 55. And, I had this conversation with my theatrical agents, and they were on board, and I have great photos. And I think that they're trying to figure out what to do with me. I'm not an old 55. I'm still a very young, vibrant 55, and that's what my energy is. I'm Gen X, right? And so we're going gray and we're embracing it. So this commercial said grandma. I'm laughing out of discomfort because I was not ready to see that. And I got really pissed off thinking, what the fuck? Like, what are my agents doing? Like, are they serious? They see gray hair, they submit me for grandma? And then I read the description and it says something along the lines of, oh, she's older than she looks, but she still got it. And then I look at the age range and it's 60 to 70. I remember the first time I went from being the ingenue, the 20s, to auditioning for my first mom role and feeling like, oh my God, I'm not even a mother yet. So now I'm at this point, and then I embraced it because that was a area of commercials that you really wanted to be in, and I was able to rock with that for a very long time. But now to be grandma? And then when I looked at the reference pictures, these women in these photos look like my mom's age. So I accepted it because it's all across the board. It's class A, it's industrial, it's cable, it's traditional digital. It checks all the boxes of income. And a lot of commercials aren't doing that. Like national commercials, they're rare. They still exist, but they're rare. So I was like, you know what, Tawana? Just go in. And this casting director knows me. So I'm like, well, if he's bringing me in for this, maybe there's something that we don't know. My agent had confirmed, that I'd gotten the call, and I said, yeah, I got it. Thank you. But also I'm a little, I don't know how I feel, 60 to 70, that's a huge jump from 55. And I can also still stay in that 45 range. I said, but I'm going to go anyway. But if I'm being honest, I'm hitting a threshold of discomfort around this role. I started thinking about how so many women in the Gen X generation are going gray. And a lot of times Black women it's hard for you to tell how old we are. And it's like, maybe commercials are starting to pick up on that. And as I'm waking up, just finished my meditation, it came to me. It's like, Tawana, you haven't had a commercial audition in a very long time and you're rusty. And you have to get there early so that you can prepare and I can figure out what I'm bringing and how to bring it. I haven't done improv. I haven't been on a stage in a very long time. I'm not very sharp. And so that's scary also. I'm happy that I'm having the realization that I can't take this audition for granted. I can't expect to walk into an audition room and think that everything is going to be firing. I've got to be really strategic about this. I'm going to take some notes. I'm going to go back to my notes of the people who I trained with commercially. And the main thing that I always remember is exposition. What is happening here? How do I feel about this person? How do I feel about the product? How do I feel about the environment that I'm in? And how do I respond realistically to what's happening? What normally happens in these scenarios? What buttons can I add? Because you always have to button the commercial. And a button is either a word or an expression or an emotion. So when I get there, I'm going to get there early before I sign in. I'm going to read everything, and I'm going to take a moment off to the side. I'm not going to sit here just in case it's like, oh, Tawana, you ready? We're free. No, I'm going to go get the script. I'm going to go around the corner, and then I'm going to work on it. I'm not going to take this audition for granted because I had fallen so disconcerted with the landscape of commercials from about 2022 to 2024. And one of the reasons why I left my agent, not the main reason, there's other reasons, my commercial agent, was because I was becoming disconcerted and not happy auditioning. I got to get back my love for commercials. So I'm not going to take this for granted. And then I'll tell you about it and keep you posted. All right, I am off, making my way to Glendale. For those of you in LA who are in the commercial game, you know exactly where I'm going, but I don't have to keep it a secret. I'm going to Dan Bell casting. I just hate that he's so far, or so far for me, because I'm sure the people who live up in that area love having the casting director over there, but for me, it's a trek.
But that be 2 years. Not even very nice.
All right, that is my time. I couldn't give you volume, but I just took you inside of a room to see what it's like. I got a direction and then a redirect. And so what happens in the redirect is you want to listen very closely because they're giving you something that they didn't see in the first take. And hopefully you can take it in. I will say that I was very calm and present. Being present. Whenever I get a redirect, it depends on the director or the session runner who's giving the information. Sometimes they overtalk it, which is not good for me because my brain moves really fast. So I just need like something quick. Boom, boom, boom. Not 10 different things. This guy was able to give me some very clear, concise direction. And he seemed to like what I did, but So either way, what I was thinking is that most of the people in the room were definitely more of the age range of 60 to 70. And what happens is when you're in a room and you see people that don't look like you start to beat yourself up. You start to think, oh, I'm not going to get this or whatever. And so I was able to refrain from that thought process and was like, you know what? Let me just be here. I don't have to put myself in a position where I'm feeling like I gotta look like everybody else. Let me just give my rendition. And so that's exactly what I did. I gave my rendition.
A little windy across the area today. You'll notice with some.
And then got on out of there. So for my first audition, in-person audition, I'm happy to be back. And success. Yay! I'll keep you posted on whatever else may come. There's somebody waiting for this parking spot, so I'm driving safely out of the spot. All right, yes. So I feel good about it. I will keep you posted on if I get a call back or not a call back. Well, actually, I'll only keep you posted if I get a call back. All right. Deuces.